If you're a founder or a sales manager and you want to reduce the burnout amongst your sales team and give your prospects a better experience, you need to introduce more digital touch points when you're doing your initial outreach. Today, I want to break down the 5 steps of our LinkedIn outreach structure that we use here at Sales Inc. to talk to enterprise prospects across 25 different industries. Now, this video is a continuation of the last video I did talking about your ICP or your ideal customer profile. If you haven't seen that video, please give it a watch. I talk about how to build your ideal audience and how to find paying customers today. So when you're looking to reach out to your target audience, if you just call them out of the blue, you're going to give them a bad experience. People are busy, they're on the fly, and they're getting calls from 1,000 other providers. So you need to differentiate yourself and you need to give your sales team the best possible chance of success. Step number 1 is we take our audience and we upload it into LinkedIn in what's called a matched audience. Now, what we can do when we upload a matched audience is we can take those prospects and we can share content with them through a company LinkedIn page. We can bid for impressions and create really good economies of scale and ensure that our prospects are getting to know us and seeing touch points from us prior to any reach out or any connection activity. Doing this builds trust. In this day and age, trust is the most important currency. And if you can find ways to circumvent trust, you've got to take them. So what we do is we take our ideal audience, whether that's 500 prospects, 1,000 prospects, or 1,500 prospects, and we upload that into the back end of LinkedIn into a company page. When doing this process, we can experience impressions for as little as 10 cents and video views for as little as 30 to 40 cents. We also look to make sure that we can get almost 100% list coverage. So everyone that we upload into the back end of LinkedIn from our ICP, our ideal customer profile, should see the ad or the media or the video at least once, ideally more than once. So they start to get familiar with the company, the brand, the solution, the people from the company. And doing this as a first step, once we've built our ICP, makes everything a lot easier. Step number 2 of our Sales Inc. outreach process is we look to rotate different forms of media. We have a media team at Sales Inc. which includes videographers, graphic designers, post-production experts, and a studio. And whenever we kick off a new client campaign or do campaigns for ourselves, we look to build media. Now that media can come in all shapes and sizes. We can do a thought leader piece where a founder's looking directly down the camera and talking about the problem he or she solves. We might do a piece where we're interviewing a founder and they're slightly off camera and they're talking about the problem they solve and some of the benefits of their solutions. Or they might just be talking about themselves in general and just humanizing who they are. We might also do like a product-based video to really show off the aesthetic, the beauty of the underlying product. Or we might do something that's more graphic-based, and it might be what we call a carousel, which is a bunch of images. It's almost like a flip book that shows the beauty of a project, a solution, a piece of real estate, a piece of architecture, how the product looks, how the product interacts, even a live demo of the product. What we're looking to do is we're looking to diversify our risk amongst different forms of media, because different forms of media will resonate with some people better than others. Some people might be more used to consuming short, sharp content that goes only for 20 or 30 seconds. Some people might like something that's a bit more long form. You never completely know exactly what your audience wants. So what you want to do is you want to be able to diversify your media mix, knowing that over time, with a diversified strategy, multiple different forms of media, different lengths of videos, different types of videos, forms of carousels, you're going to eventually get most of the eyeballs, or you're going to get impressions from pretty much everyone that you've uploaded in that list. And for some people in that list, maybe 10 to 20%, you're going to get multiple impressions, and they're going to start to become very familiar with the solution, which is going to make the job of the sales reps so much easier when they pick up the phone. Step 3 is we run a connection strategy. Before we connect with any prospects on LinkedIn, we want to make sure that the profile is looking good. It's got the banner that shows the company they work for. It's got a nice image. And there's maybe some endorsements on the profile. There's some previous work, something that really sort of shines that company and that person, that senior leader, in a good light. From there, we then do the connection strategy. Now, we run connection strategies across all different industries here at SalesLink. Now, we've got multiple tools that we like. Just to name two, we like HeyReach and Dripify. They can do it for you. Once you pre-program what sort of connection rates you want, who you want to connect with, how you want to connect with them. Generally speaking, what we do when we connect with prospects is we don't like to do too much of a connection message. We want to go out and just connect with prospects to, add to the intrigue, get them curious. We use a senior leader from the business's LinkedIn for something like this. And we have experienced connection rates of, up to 40%, but a baseline for us is around that 20% mark. Through this connection process, we want to ensure that now people are familiar with the actual business, they start to become familiar with some of the stakeholders within the business, some of the senior leaders within the business. Now, the goal of this connection strategy is not to necessarily, lock away leads straight away, but we will get people, given that we've tuned up the profile and we're connecting with the right people, responding in the DMs and wanting to exchange some dialogue. That is an opportunity to start, talking about the solution. However, it is not the goal. The goal is to build trust with these prospects, so when our reps reach out, their job is a lot easier, less taxing, and they can get more done and get more outcomes for your business or for our clients. Step number 4 is soft engagement. Now, depending on the industry that we're working in and depending on the complexities of the solution and the end target market, we might need slightly more digital touch points. We might need a DM or 2 DMs. Our process here, though, is there is too many people jumping in your LinkedIn DMs on a daily basis, trying to flog you anything and everything. We're not playing that game. We want to show we're real people. We want to show we've got a real solution. And we want to show that we're market leaders. We don't do that by sending 50 DMs and just bombarding people, which it seems to be the path of the course nowadays. What we want is, depending on connectivity rates in various industries, sometimes connectivity rates in some industries can be as low as 10-15%. We want to at least be able to articulate our message and show what we're capable of in a DM or even in a LinkedIn post. So if we're going to send a DM, we're not going to send a DM straight away. We'll look to send it maybe after 4 or 5 days. And what we like to be able to do is send something that's value add, that's intriguing, but we're not necessarily trying to sell anything. And based on how that resonates and lands, we might then continue to add to that sequence. If we've nurtured an audience for a while, by for a while, I mean we run 3 to 6 month campaigns. If we've been nurturing an audience for a while and we feel that we've earned the right based on engagement of certain prospects to get in their DMs and I guess ask the question, we will. However, as I keep saying, our team is onshore here in Australia and they make outreach at an incredibly high level. And everything that's done digitally is just to ensure that they can have easier conversations and move through the sales process and set high quality meetings sooner. So to summarize, we will send a follow-up digital touch point. We might encourage a client to be more active on LinkedIn. We might send a second follow-up DM, but we're not going for 7 or 8 different message sequences based on certain personas and avatars as we're going to speak to these people on the phone and exchange dialogue at a high level. But there will be people that never answer a phone in a campaign that you can get digitally, and it's all about the 1%ers, and you want to make sure no stone is left unturned. So step number 5, and the last step in our outbound activation model, is a email, which is followed quite closely with a phone call. Now, we send an email when someone has connected on LinkedIn, thanking them for the connection and sharing a little bit more about the solution and how we could potentially help them. We do this in a very soft way. We make sure our domains are authenticated because email delivery rates in 2026 have absolutely dropped through the floor. That's been happening over the last 12 to 18 months. We also might send a little text-based email alongside it to make sure that we can pass through those spam filters. But all we're trying to do is show the business in a really nice light, in a really nice HTML coded email that talks about who the people in the business are, the problem they solve, some of the senior leaders, some of the people they've worked with, some of the companies they've worked with, brand familiarity. If we run these touch points on an ongoing basis, we're going to find that our reps are going to have better conversations. We're going to end up with shorter sales cycles, and the whole business ecosystem is going to have a better time. Prospects aren't going to be caught off guard. They're going to be more familiar with who you are, what you do. And as a result, your business is going to make more money in time. Obviously, sales cycles can never be completely expedited, but your business will do better in time. What I'll look to do in the next video is I'll break down what we do after we've done our digital touch points and how we run campaigns on an ongoing basis. If you want to be notified in real time when we post content, give our channel a follow so you know exactly when we post. Thanks for watching.